Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful lace fascinator. So watch till the end to know how I made every single thing you see here, because it's a detailed video. So if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so. Like this video and please also share it to your people. Now this is the mold I used for the fascinator base. Now I took my measurements like we normally do. So I got 9.5 inches when I took the measurement, and I used it to cut out the lace fabric and the lining. For the lining piece, you need it to be two. It has to be two, and also your wadding or your breast pad, whatever you call it. Now I had to join mine because it wasn't enough, and the fascinator is for myself and not for a client. So I just added oil to the mold to grease it, and I rubbed it round. So now this is my stiffener added to the bucket, and I added a little water and I'm stirring. Now I mixed it, and I also soaked the padded or wadding inside the stiffener, the mixture, and then make sure that it went through the padded thoroughly. And then I added an extra stiffener because I want it to be, I don't want anything, like I want it to be enough. Okay, so now getting onto the molding, I placed the first lining. Remember I told you it should be two. Then I placed my wadding or breast pad, whatever you call it, and then I placed the second lining. Remember I told you the lining should be two, and then I'll finally place the lace on it before molding. Now I've placed the lace on the lining, on the second lining. Now in case if the lining you are using is has a right side and a wrong side, for the first lining the right side should be facing downwards while the wrong side should be facing up, and then for the second line the right side should be facing up while the wrong side should be facing down. Okay, so that is what you are going to do. Now we'll be pinning the four sides first. We pin the right, the east, west, north and south. Okay, let me use that. Now after pinning down the four sides, the four corners, we'll now go ahead to pin round. In case you don't know how to mold fascinator as a beginner, please check my other YouTube videos. Okay, I've posted more than one videos, okay, where I detailed how to mold a fascinator. Okay, so this was it after I was done molding. Now I'll leave it under the sun to dry. Now moving on to the brim parts, we have this wire and it measures 50 inches. Okay, the wire is 50 inches. Now to join them together, I place them on each other and then I wrap with my tape. Okay, when wrapping with this paper tape, please don't make it bulky. Okay, that was a problem with mine. I made mine bulky. I was like, hey, Amarachi, was this you? I mean, how could I make this so bulky like that? Please, when you are wrapping, just wrap little. Okay, don't wrap it so once it has been secured. Okay, and you've seen that it cannot pierce through, just leave it at that. Okay, you don't need to wrap so much for it to be firm. So you wrap like this. See, I made it so bulky. I wrapped so many times, which was wrong. So don't make yours bulky. And now that was it. And then we have this piece of net. I cut out a long piece of net. Okay, and then I'll be using it to wrap around. Just as you listen, please watch carefully. Now I'll be using it to wrap around this iron. Okay, I'll first of all tie it, and then when you are tying, make sure you are tying away from this part that you wrapped, because you don't want it to add to the bulkiness. Okay, and make it even more bulky. Now I'll be tying it. I'll first of all tie. After tying, then I'll start wrapping around. Now you can also use thread. Okay, you can also use thread, like you wrap thread like you wrap thread like 8 times, and then you use it to wrap around if you don't have a fabric like mine to wrap around. Okay, but I prefer using this net because it is faster. When you are wrapping with thread or more, it's really time exhausting. So you can see the way I'm wrapping around. I didn't cut off the excess when I tied. Okay, I just continued, laid it flat, and then I continued my wrapping so as to secure it. So I'll do that quickly. Now guys, to show us, this was it. I got to the end of my piece, the net fabric, the net piece. So I had to wrap a tie, I mean. So I secured it. I just tied it like once, and then I didn't cut off. Okay, when you tie this, you don't need to cut off. Okay, because you still need to wrap around, because you are not done with the wrapping. So I didn't cut off the excess. What I did was just to get another piece of fabric, another piece of net to join to it. Now I will also do my tying. Just like I tied it the initial time, I will also tie this piece of net. Okay, I wanted to join them together, but it wasn't possible. So I had to tie round like I did at the initial stage. Just tie round. And then after tying, remember not to cut off. So just lay it flat like that, and you carry on with your wrapping. It's easy like that. So when you get to the end of it, this is what you do. You just tie it, make sure you secure it properly. You tie like 2 or 3 times, okay, to make sure that that end is well secured. And then you can now trim off your excess at this point. When you get to the last point, you then trim off, after tying your knots securely, okay, you trim off the excess at that point. Now this is it, I'm done wrapping. Now for the net fabric, please, if your net is rumpled, like if it's not iron, please iron it. It's not wrong to iron your net. Iron it out so that it's straightened out. That was what I did to mine. It was very rough, so I had to iron out. Now to 2 yards of net is okay, so as to make sure you secure everything properly. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I opened my net, and then I placed it at the middle, not so much as at the center, so that you don't waste your net fabric. Just do it, place it enough that will be like, place it in such a way that you get all the edges of the net at the middle of your wire. Okay, so just you hold it firm and tightly. Now as you are holding this down, just know that the tighter you pull the net, the more curvy your iron would be. Okay, if you pull it tighter, your iron would curve. If you don't want it curved, then just hold it down straight, and then don't pull so tight, because if you pull so tight, it would give it some curves. Okay, so but if you don't want curves, just don't pull. Okay, but now I pulled mine because I initially wanted to make a curved wide brim hat. Okay, but then it didn't work out at the end. But I pulled mine, and you would see the shape I got. So as you listen, just watch carefully, because this is more of watching, okay, than listening. As you listen, you also watch carefully to see what I do, because the way I move my hands and everything, they matter. Now when you've already gotten the shape that you want, what you do is to get, you like I said, you can also use rope, like you gather thread so many times and then you use it to wrap instead of net. But I prefer using net to do my tying. So I'll be using this piece of net as well to tie this round, like to secure that place that my hand is at. Okay, so you see the way I'm wrapping around, I'm tying. What I'm actually doing is to tie. Okay, and the more I tie, the more I pull to make it firm. Okay, and give me the shape that I want. Now guys, if you are yet to like this video, please do me a favor and like this video. Share this video. There are so many people out there who are looking for how to make this or that. Share it to people you know that it would matter to, and then also leave a comment for me at the comment section. If there is any part you don't understand, feel free to drop your question at the comment section. And you can also follow my Facebook page at Golden Grace Millinery. There I share posts, millinery like fascinators, the latest that I make, I share it there. but the tutorial videos are here on YouTube. Okay, so subscribe to this channel so that you get notified. Don't forget to click on the bell icon when you subscribe, so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So guys, at this point I'm done tying this, and then I'll be cutting off the excess. Be careful not to cut the net where you tied. Okay, you trim off every excesses and then you leave it so minimal. Now this is what we have, and then we'll be introducing our mold. Getting back to our mold, it's dried now, though I didn't leave it to dry so properly because I wanted to use it for the Sunday service, and I was making this on a Saturday, so it wasn't so dried. Okay, so but I thought I could manage it like that, but to God be the glory, it turned out so nice and beautiful. So when yours, just leave yours, especially if you're making it for a client, make sure your mold is well dried. That is why you need to add enough stiffener. So now I had to manage mine like this because it wasn't for a client, it was for myself. So some parts wasn't well dried, they weren't well, like they, and you know this is the rainy season, so some parts just didn't dry as I wanted it to, but I had to manage it. So you see, I removed my pins and I cut off my excess. Now I'll be placing it on this net brim that we made, and then I'll be tacking down with my needle and my thread. Please use a matching color of thread. Okay, so now just watch the way I hold it down. I'm just basically, my advice, please point to notes, because this was like a problem for me. At times it's just best to actually use your glue first to hold down before you tack down. But I did this because this was not the first time, this is just not the first time that I'm making this kind of art. Okay, so you can securely hold it down with your glue so that yours isn't shifting anyhow. Okay, just securely hold it down with your glue first, add gum to it to that point, and then place it where you want it to be on the net before you start tacking down. This really, especially when you are making this for a client, you need to be careful. So but myself, I had to tack down because whatever shape it gave me, I know it would come out beautiful. Okay, so this is just the way that I'm tacking down. I'll do that round. Okay, you just need to hold the net and the fascinator edge, and then you just tack it down like you are doing a zigzag stitching. So this was it after I was done. Now I'll be opening the center. Okay, after you are done, you make sure to knot the thread, okay, to secure it properly. Then now you get your razor blade, okay, because with it we'll be opening the center right at that point after the tackings. Okay, just open up. See the way I'm opening up with my razor blade. Just go ahead to open it up like so. Just be careful not to cut your rope. See that? Well guys, so this was it, and this was because my mold wasn't well dried, it wasn't firm enough. So when I was tacking down, being that I didn't use glue to hold it down, I tacked down. I wasn't washing carefully when I was tacking down. It gave me it reduced the tension on the net. Okay, so it made my flat. So tips to note: just secure it down with your glue first and make sure that your mold is well dried before you do that. Okay, so that you don't end up having it flat when you want it to be curved. Now I'll use this trimming to actually cover around the place where I tacked down at the top, just to make it a little more neater, to give it some fine finishing at that edge, at that point. Okay, so I'll take this and I would glue it down around the brim of the hat. So this is it. At this point I was done. It's already taking shape, but I must confess I actually loved it flat. It gave me the mama's vibe. So it was really cool. So now I'll be using this elastic to cover the inside. When you are covering the inside of this elastic, you make sure you are covering that part where you tacked down, okay? But don't let it get to your net area, okay? So that the glue won't be showing at the top of your net. Just do it carefully and professionally. Especially if you're a beginner, just take your time to do this, okay? You don't need to rush for any reason. So just like that, I would go ahead to do this round the inner brim. And there here comes our embellishment. So this was the lace that I used for this, and what I did was to use my soldering iron. You know, soldering iron, now you plug it to an electric current, okay? You plug it to your socket and you start carving out the shape that you want. Tailors use this, fashion designers they use this, and we milliners we also use this to cut out our shoki. So this is what I use to trace out. This helps a lot. You can equally use your scissors to trace it out, but this helps in the sense that it will make the edges not to be rough, okay? Especially when the material you are using, like it frays, okay? This will help the edges not to be rough but to be well secured and neat. So you see the way it's easier to use this, though you need to be more careful so that you don't end up ruining your design, okay? So you see the way I just used it to carve out, okay? Just be careful. And you see I'm placing it on a magnet, because if you place it on a carpet or uh, um a combustible surface, it would burn it, okay? So just be careful when you are using your soldering iron. Now this is what we have. Now again, I'll be going ahead to attach my Alice band. If you don't know how to attach Alice band, I have a video tutorial where I taught how to mold a fascinator, how to make a fascinator as a beginner, and there I calmed down and cooled down and detailed the video, including how to attach your Alice band. Now you can see that I'm taking the thread at the top. I'm taking it so close to where the needle comes out from, so that the top area will not be showing, okay? So that is it. Then you'll be taking the bigger part down there, okay? You'll be taking the bigger part of the stitching down there, and then the smaller part at the top. So this is what we have so far. Now we'll be moving on to embellish. Now to embellish this, to place this on your hat, first of all lay it down, okay? You first of all lay it down the way you want it to be. Then you now start taking it out one by one using your hot glue. Remember, the reason why I use hot glue on this is because it's a white net, so the hot glue won't be showing underneath because everything will be white and transparent. So that was the reason why I used this hot glue. If not, I would have sewed it down or used my needle and thread to hand tack it. So I'll go ahead and finish this, and this was it after I was done placing it and gluing everything down. Now moving on to the next embellishment. This is a pleated crinoline, and I used 1 yard, sorry, 1 yard of it. What I did was just to start from one end to the other end. I did a running stitch, okay, the normal running stitch to form roses. That was what I did. So this is a pleated crinoline, and that was why it gave me that puffy look, because the pleated crinolines are puffy, okay? This is called a pleated crinoline, and I used just 1 yard of pleated crinoline. So what I did was just to do a running stitch, form roses, and then tacked it down. When I was tacking down, I made the top area to stand a bit, okay? And then I just tacked it down, I secured it, and then after securing it, I attached it to my fascinator. Just place it where you want it to be. And so guys, if you have gotten to this point, thank you so much for liking this video, and if you are yet to do so, please click the like button. This will help YouTube to recommend this to other people who will be interested in this, okay? So clicking the like button is your support for me, and also dropping a comment is also to encourage me. And then also share this video, because I know that there are people out there who want to learn how to make this hat, because this fetches money. So now see, I'm tacking it down, and then when I'm tacking down this, at this point I'm making the thread underneath small, like I'm taking the smaller portion underneath because I want it to be neat underneath, while I'm taking the bigger portion at the top because I will still be covering inside there, like I will still be covering it with an embellishment. So you take the smaller part down there and the bigger part at the top. So now the next embellishment, or more embellishment food is fascinator. It costs. So this is a pearl fixing machine, a pearl setting machine. Okay, use it to fix your pearl. This is the pin. Okay, this is the pin that we'll be using to fix this pearl, fix the pearls to our nets. Now, to show you the pearls, this is the nozzles. Like, this is what it comes with. It comes with different sizes. Depending on the size you're working with, that is what you will fix. Okay, so these are the pearls. Remember, the pearls for this, for to be fixed, like if you want to use the pearl setting machine, the pearls are different. They don't have openings, unlike the pearls that you can use needles to tack down. These ones don't have openings because you use pins and these pearls to attach them. So for the pearl setting machine, the part that is closed is the part that you will be placing down. Okay, just watch the way I don't know how to do the explanation, but just see what I'm doing. You see the way I'm placing it. The side with the four legs will be facing up. Okay, then you now fix your pearl into that rubber area at the top. Now you place, you bring it like so, and then where you want to fix it, you just clip it. You drag back that handle that has red, that just drag it like so, and then you gradually pull this out because you know it's a net. If you drag it, it might tear open. So you see that I'll do it a second time, then believe we can do it. So thank you for watching till this point. We're already at the end of this video. If you are yet to like this video, please like this video, share this video, and leave a comment for me, okay, to encourage me. Okay, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Okay, I'll be dropping another tutorial soon. I'm so sorry that I dropped this one so late. Okay, it was some issues. Okay, so I fixed as much as I wanted, and I added some feathers, some hand fan feathers at the top, and that was it. So for the underneath of the fascinator, don't forget to cover it. Okay, we need to cover it. Use your elastic to cover that place and make it neat. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye. I love you all. Thank you.